In just about a year, the African Growth Opportunity Act, AGOA, will expire, implying that the window which allows members of participating sub-Saharan African countries export into the United States without crossing the many hurdles of export and paying taxes will be closed. The good news, however, is that there's still time for Nigerian exporters to delve and maximize this window, which is still open. And who knows, you may be the entrepreneur we have been waiting for. And it could be that you were waiting for BOI Weekly to air the November AGOA training so you can get the information you need. So welcome to AGOA Training School on BOI Weekly.
It gives me great pleasure.
Tireless in its efforts to help Nigerians maximize the opportunities in the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, the Bank of Industry has once again opened its doors at number 23 Marina in Lagos to would-be exporters to be equipped with relevant information.
It is pertinent to note that while Nigeria is exporting to the United States, the share of goods entering the U.S. under AGOA exports is negligible. This is a direct result of a lack of education and available resources on the subject among all levels of the domestic export chain. Capacity building efforts on this subject have been limited. Our workshops are aimed at providing exporters with an opportunity to gain practical information about the workings of AGOA, as well as to offer attendees a platform to share concerns relating to international trade in general and AGOA in particular. Therefore, this workshop will provide us not only an essential knowledge, but also a great avenue to impart experiences on both technical and regulatory issues.
For the 42nd monthly training, the discussion has been set to start from the basics, consideration before one starts a business.
The exporting to US, beautiful, wonderful, the dollars coming. If your company is not properly put together, properly structured, you're not going to be able to do this. So that is why you have to set up properly. You have to have a proper business plan. It gives you a rundown of who your competitors are. What are the strategies that you're facing from your competitors? How are you going to be able to either beat what your competitors are doing or even do better? What are you adding to that market? What is your unique selling point?
Another issue which has been prioritized on the program is packaging. A representative of a 43-year-old packaging company, Polyproducts, Mr. Ramesh Malik, has been invited. He highlights the importance of choosing the right packaging material, which could be flexible or rigid.
Why we are using plastics? Because plastics has very three fundamental properties like toughness, lightweight, and design freedom. These are the three properties gives us a wide range of applications in our daily life to use plastics, which metal or any other product they don't have. So if you talk of plastics, anything you talk of in our life, starting from your beverages like water, juice, or any food items, they need a packaging. If you go to a market, we are looking for what is the best product. Not inside what is the best product, we are looking how it is attractive, the packaging. So packaging has a very very high value for today's products. If you are not packaged well, it cannot sell anywhere in the market. So it is very much concerned how we are packing our product and what is the right way to pack and what is the right packaging need to our product. If we have different products, some people are producing juice, some people are producing spices, some people are producing water, yogurt. Maybe they don't have much knowledge how to pack it, what is the right package to pack it, and how when you are packing, you're supposed to understand what's supposed to be the shelf life of the product. And it is the right grade of material you are using, or it is the right packaging of the material, and the product knowledge also, because any product sells in the market is supposed to have a shelf life and is supposed to transport from one place to another place. which is very important, because if you are producing in Lagos, you have to export to either different countries or any part of the Nigeria. So for that, rigidity of the packaging also required.
And to demystify the export process, especially as it concerns the role of the customs, Assistant Control General Olubanke Adeyemo takes up this task.
Customs is not the first place you will come to when you want to export anything. We are the last. You have to, first of all, if it involves getting customer at the other side, you have to get your customer, the person you are going to export to. If the commodity you are exporting, for instance, US is a very large market, you cannot afford to take 3 packages or 10 packages of whatever material to US. For you to make profit, you are thinking of 20-footer container. A 20-footer container is not a joke. Is a very large thing that you have to put consignment. You have to think of packaging. You have to source finance from your bank.
At the end of the session, the trainees are encouraged to face the US market boldly, but only after meeting up with all the requirements, so that they can not just boost their economy, but portray Nigeria in good light. Following the training, I had a chat with the Assistant Controller General just to get more information for you.
When Nigeria signed into the Pact of Categorized Certification, an aspect of the AGOA for the export of textiles and apparel to the US, we came down, and at the National Assembly the bill was passed, and the domestication of AGOA fell squarely into the Nigerian Customs and Excise Management Act, then the SEMA. And it came to be in force as the non-reciprocal preferential tariff treatments of exported goods and stores regulation of 2004. The commencement was for 2004. In this regulation, it states clearly the obligation of the customs, the obligation of the exporter of apparel. And there is a template for certificates of origin. This template is made from US. In the template, you have all relevant information required from the textile prospective exporter. All the informations that they need concerning whether it's a registered exporter, the status, the importer address at the territory of the US. So that is the certificate of origin. And there's also an application for visa. It's a form. The template has been created by US government. Coupled with that, it is obligatory for the Nigerian Customs Service to do inspection of premises of a textile manufacturer, to check the line of production so as to ensure and confirm that the textile is actually being manufactured in that place and it's not imported from another country. Equally, the law enforces on customs the obligation of verification of rules of origin, so that the issue of falsification of records will not come in, because origin verification is key in the aspect that source information is the most vital information that we can get, and we are supposed to give the US advanced information when the exporter must have prepared himself. We also have the domain of the HS harmonized system, the harmonized tariff system, which the customs has to verify and properly classify the textile articles, whether it's hand-loomed, knitted, or cotton-made, whatever it is, whether it's a garment or it's a sweater, whatever it is customs that has the exclusivity and the capacity to classify that product very well in the tariff. And in the documents that we have to go through and the importer has to fill, we have to put the proper HS code. We have to check the value, because we will have, during inspection of premises, check the records of the manufacturer. And it is mandatory for the manufacturer to keep the record of production for at least 5 years after production, so that if there is any need to verify the origin of that product, the US Customs will come down and in collaboration with us will lead them to the premises. We have all the capacity to check the HS regime, valuation regime, origin, so as to avoid falsification of record and not to give us a bad image.
These things you've explained mostly about textiles. What about for consumables, food? Is it still the same thing that applies?
When it comes to consumables, certificate of origin is issued for textile and apparel. But when it comes to food items, it is important that the food items must originate from here. On the part of the prospective exporters, there are pre-customs obligations that are compelling on the prospective exporters. Like, you must get your buyer, you must send a sample of your consumable to US Department of Agriculture to check whether it's fit for health purposes there. There must not be pests or ants or anything in your food products. There has to be some communication between the Nigerian exporter and the US Department of Agriculture. They have to certify the products that is consumer safe in US. And the packaging must be right.
In recent times, this past years, both the federal government and its parastatals have seen the essence of small and medium enterprises in the country. So there are so many programs to encourage SMEs and all that. So is there no compromise for small businesses to encourage them to participate more in exporting their products to other parts of the world?
The SMEs, they constitute an important area in AGOA. Actually, this forum is a government to business connectivity, a form of re-engineering of the business process. The SMEs come into perspective because the private sector is the engine of growth of the economy. The large multinational companies, they may not want to take advantage of it, but the SMEs can go into places, tap into some of our resources and products and farm products and decide to export it. Now, with the backing of Bank of Industry, they need to take some facilities, some loan facility from Bank of Industry. I will equally advise some of the SMEs to try and strategize and form a partnership together so that the burden of capital will not overweigh the business.
In my interaction with some business people, especially the small-scale business operators, they say that, well, the customs you are at the port, and you allow some of this competition to come into the country, even sometimes when they are banned. For example, the textile people would say that some products, some clothes are made in China but tag made in Nigeria because people have come to appreciate made in Nigeria clothing. So at the end of the day, the textile makers have their warehouses full, but Nigerians are purchasing what they think is made in Nigeria products.
What I would say in that area is, if there are textile or garment manufacturers in Nigeria that are of SME standard, our SMEs are very important because they contribute a considerable percentage to the national GDP. So there's a need to encourage them. If you are manufacturing or you are producing anything, either textile or whatever, if you feel you're not selling, there is a need for you to first of all advertise your products locally in Nigeria. Let Nigerians take awareness of it. In the textile manufacturing or sewing industry, Nigeria is doing fantastically. Style